Gwe Agpijlazi, hello and welcome to the beautiful Colchester Legion Stadium for day number 3 of the Coltech Nova Scotia Under-15 Major Hockey League Provincial Championship Tournament. My name is Michael Petter. This is Petter Pictou Sports on AOTV, and today we have game number 12 to start things off. The home team for this game will be the John Old Jim Cougars, who come in with a record of 1-2. They'll be taking on the Rangers, the top seed in this tournament, who right now have a record of 2-1. There are 3 games left in the round robin, and with every team still in contention, every game is going to be vitally important today, and it should be 3 games of fantastic action. The 11 games that we've had over the first 2 days, there has not been a blowout yet. There has been fantastic, close hockey in every single game, and we expect 3 more of those today before we get a little bit of a break going into the semifinals tonight at 5 o'clock and then again at 7:30. With 3 games left and 3 possible outcomes in each game, doing the math, and yes, I'm a bit of a math teacher, so we'll go through the lessons here. 3 games, 3 possible outcomes in each game. Either team wins or it ends in a tie. That gives you 27 possible combinations and permutations of what might end up happening. We don't have time to go through all 27 of those combinations, so all we're going to say is wait and see, because there is too much to break down, too much to try and figure out to determine who it is who's going to be playing in the games tonight and then playing in the bronze medal and gold medal games tomorrow. One thing we do know is that right now, coming in, one team has finished their round robin portion. That is the Truro Bearcats. They sit with a record of 2-2. They have a possibility of getting in. They also might not get in. Again, too many combinations to try and work out. We'll have to wait and see. We'll have to let it all play out. But it's going to be very exciting action, and fans of every team should be watching every one of these games with a whole lot of interest, because there is so much that can happen. We can tell you this about this game. If the Cougars lose, they know they will not be able to make it into the semifinals tonight, because they will end up with a record of 1-3. They also know that if they tie, they will end up with a record of 1-2-1. That will not be good enough. So the Cougars must win to keep their hopes alive. For the Rangers, they have a little bit more wiggle room. They can lose and drop down to 2-2, and depending on how the tiebreakers play out, still have a shot to make it to the semifinals. But they would then need a little bit of help and need the tiebreakers to go their way. So with a tie, they guarantee that they would at least make the semifinals, and then it would just depend on what the seeding looks like. We should also mention as well, I got to check my sheet here. Too many pieces of paper all lying around here, there, and everywhere. We want to mention that this game is being sponsored by Wilson's Heating. So the Truro Bearcats and the host committee want to take time to acknowledge the official support of the Game 12 sponsor, Wilson's Heating. They also want to thank, and I want to thank as well, all of the tournament sponsors who've done such a great job to help make this tournament happen. The gold level sponsor, of course, the main title sponsor of this event, Coltech Windows and Entrance Systems. The silver level sponsor, Macquarie's PharmaSave. The bronze level sponsors, Motor Hub Automotive Group, Stanfields Limited, Dairy Queen, and Virtual McDougall. You would think I know those by now after having said them so many times already, but it's always good to have the list just to make sure you don't make a mistake. Taking a look at the rosters for these 2 teams, a couple of players who've really stood out so far. One for the John Old Jim Cougars, in particular, William Stonehouse, and the work that he has done in goal. He's played all 3 games so far. It appears he's going to get the start in this one as well. They're going to keep riding their hot goaltender as long as they can. Stonehouse has been fantastic. A couple other players who've really impressed me for the Cougars. Malcolm McDonald has had a good tournament. Brody Dawson, has had a very good tournament as well. On the back end, one of the defensemen who's really impressed me, he was actually named to the rookie all-star team, Gavin Suds, and we've seen why throughout the course of the tournament. For the Rangers, Nolan McLaughlin was the goalie of the year, and we've seen why in the 2 starts that he's had. Nate Beaton played very well in his start as well. I'm thinking Beaton will get the start again in this one so that each of them gets 2 starts. A couple other players, Josh Hollett, he's had a great tournament. Ethan Hines has played really well. Connor Foston, I believe he's Cole's younger brother, has had a really good tournament. So a lot of players to be excited about. Ben Lindsay, he's had a great tournament for the Rangers, including scoring the game-winning goal with 6.6 seconds left in the opening game of this tournament way back on Thursday at noon in that 5-4 victory against the Truro Bearcats. So again, it's Cougars versus the Rangers. Rangers with a record of 2-1, Cougars with a record of 1-2, and it's all coming up in about 4 or 5 minutes. We're going to have a great game, 3 great games coming up here, and then a little bit of a break, and then the semifinals. A quick programming note as well. We will also be bringing you the tournament awards ceremony prior to the first semifinal, and that'll be happening right here on the ice at the Colchester Legion Stadium. We also want to take a moment to acknowledge that Colchester Legion Stadium, the entire Colchester County, and all of Nova Scotia lie within the ancestral unceded territory of Mi'kmaq. So we're going to get ready to get this thing rolling right there behind me, and it's going to be a great day of hockey. Stay tuned. We got a lot to look forward to. Taking you through the rest of today's schedule, as mentioned, Halifax Wolverines will take on the Wherwell Bombers at 10. The Dartmouth Whalers will face the Pro Hockey Life Harbor Storm at 12. And then we'll have that break prior to the semifinals at 5 o'clock and 7:30 this afternoon, or this evening, will be those semifinal games. And then the bronze and gold medal games will run tomorrow. Coming into today, the Bombers are tied with the Rangers for the top spot, both of them with records of 2-1. If they both win today, they obviously both would end up with records of 3-1 and therefore would be tied. And we'll look at the tiebreakers because they will have not played against each other in the round robin. We'd have to skip all the way down to the tiebreaker that applies, which would be the better goal average, which basically is another way to say goal differential. It's slightly differently calculated than goal differential, just straight plus minus, but the goal differential will certainly give you a easy first glance as to who would have the edge. And right now, with the edge in that goal differential, would be the Bombers, as they have scored 10 goals and given up 7, while the Rangers have scored 12 and given up 11. So it would depend upon margins of victory as to who would get the number 1 seed in the semifinal. Again, that is if both the Bombers and the Rangers win their respective games. As we mentioned, lots of possible combinations and permutations left to go through, so we don't want to try and go through every one of them. That's just the most simple one, is those two, if they each win, both have a chance to be in first place overall and get the top seed going into those semifinals. The Bearcats, with their record of 2-2, as we mentioned, they are done. They sit in third place right now with 4 points. However, they know that the Dartmouth Whalers, who have 2 points with a record of 1-2, play the Pro Hockey Life Harbor Storm, who have a record of 1-1. If either one of those teams wins that game, that team would overtake the Bearcats. Or sorry, no, not necessarily, because if the Whalers win that game, actually, yes, the Whalers would overtake the Bearcats because the Whalers would have a better goal ratio than the Bearcats do, because the Bearcats right now are -1, the Whalers are +1, and if they win, they would have obviously an even better goal differential or goal ratio than they have now, which would be still better than the Bearcats. And the Whalers did not play the Bearcats, or no, sorry. Now I go back and I look at my the Bearcats would have the tiebreaker against the Whalers, so that improves the Bearcats' odds significantly. They still they do need some results to go their way today, including having both the Wolverines and the Storm lose. And if that plays out that way, then we'll wait and see. The Bearcats also did not play the John L. Jim Cougars, as I double-checked through my list to confirm that. No, they did not. So if the Cougars win this game, the Bearcats need the Cougars to win it by a low enough margin that they really need it's again, so many combinations and permutations, it's hard to break them all down. But the Bearcats have to sit and watch and hope things go their way in order for them to not have played their last game of the season last night. That's what it all boils right down to. As we see the officials make their way out onto the ice, we're almost ready to get going here between the Rangers and the John L. Jim Cougars here at Colchester Legion Stadium. Rangers will be the visiting team for this game, so they're in their white jerseys with the Ranger script across the front, or not script, but block lettering going down the front, and the classic Ranger, as has been associated with the NHL team of the same name, shadow block numbering on the back. The John L. Jim Cougars are the home team for this game, and therefore they are in their home blues with the red sleeves and the red gold. And we see a penalty up on the board already. So this is interesting. Not sure what exactly this is about here. We're going to try and find out what happened with that, why one of the teams will start the game and we're just trying to, my cameraman Ashton Reiki down there talking to the referee right now, see if we can get some information on that penalty.
Uncertified goalie mask.
Uncertified goalie mask. All right. That's an interesting one. Don't think I've ever heard that one before. An uncertified goalie mask. So we'll have a penalty for that, as I guess one of the goalies' masks wasn't good enough during the warm-up. So we'll start the game with a power play. And I believe, trying to remember which side of the clock is which up there, I think that penalty goes against the Rangers. So the Cougars will start with the power play. But now we're waiting for the teams to come out onto the ice, and perhaps that issue with that goalie mask is causing more of a delay here, as both teams still sitting in their tunnels. And now we're having and McLaughlin will come out. So it is going to be Nolan McLaughlin getting the start. This will be his third appearance of the tournament. McLaughlin with a record of 2-0. Both of his starts have been the 2 wins for the Rangers. A 3.0 goals against average and an .893 save percentage. And it is William Stonehouse getting his 4th consecutive start for the John L. Jim Cougars. He has a record of 1-2, a 4.0 goals against average so far, and an .872 save percentage. Now we'll send things across the way. And we'll send things across the way for the pregame introductions.
Good morning, hockey fans, and welcome to Game 12 of the Coltech Nova Scotia Under-15 Major Hockey League Provincial Championship between the John L. Jim Cougars and the Rangers. The Truro Bearcats would like to take this time to acknowledge the support of the official Game 12 sponsor, Wilson's Heating. Starting goaltenders for this morning's game for the Rangers, number 1, Nolan McLaughlin. John L. Jim Cougars, number 30, William Stonehouse. The officials for this morning's game, the linesmen Ben Lyons and Liam O'Brien. The referees are Dante Coulter and J.C. Bly. Would ask right now if you please stand. Gentlemen, remove your caps for our national anthem.
And so, taking a look at the starting lineups in front of their respective goaltenders, in front of Nolan McLaughlin, the penalty killers will be Connor Foston and Josh Ingram on the back end, with Luke Dooley and Grant Sexton starting up front. And the fifth starter in front of Nolan McLaughlin, it will be the Maddox Marmalak, who will go over and serve the penalty. For the John L. Jim Cougars, the power play unit that starts the game will have Alex McDonald on the back end, along with Rory Pilling. The starting forward line will be Brody Ford with Malcolm McDonald and Kyle Nearing, and not Kyle Nearing, Luke Sinclair, and we are underway here at the Colchester Legion Stadium. It was McKinnon, not Marmalak, who heads over to serve that penalty. And a shorthanded shot for the Rangers. Now sending the puck deep into the zone is Ben Lindsay, and the Cougars, the John L. Jim Cougars, will now work their way out to center. This is actually the second time we've had a game start with a penalty for illegal equipment during the warm-up. The Cougars were the ones who took a penalty back in the second game of the tournament back on Thursday. So now they've been shorthanded at the start of a game and have been on the power play at the start of a game for basically the same reason. Puck comes around the boards. Alex McDonald there holds it in at the line. He fires a shot. That goes over the crossbar. Comes up the boards to Pilling at the line. Rory Pilling, the captain, plays it down into the corner. Quick one-touch pass to Sinclair. Back to Pilling again. His shot, that goes off a leg, comes to the sideboards. McDonald can't get to it. Attempted clear, gets knocked down by Pilling. Now pass across for Sinclair. He couldn't handle it, and Lindsay able to get it out to center. 40 seconds left to go in the Cougar man advantage. Carrying ahead is Pilling. He'll play it across to Sinclair. Sinclair drops it off for Pilling. Back to Sinclair again. Sharp angle shot goes off the side of the post. Comes to the line. Alex McDonald holds it in. McDonald, deflection by Ford, but the redirect ends up sending it just a little bit wide of the net. Now played down in for Ford. His shot goes off of the stick and wide. Now McDonald with a shot. That goes wide. And Hollett not able to clear the zone. Foston will get the puck out to center. And we are up to 5-on-5 for the first time in this game after the Rangers kill off that opening penalty. Hollett plays it off the boards. Carrying it out now is Lindsay. He'll dump the puck in and head off for a change. Cougars collected in their own zone. Out they come. With it is Burke. He gets tied up by Hines. Hines will gather in the puck and bring it out. His pass just a little bit beyond the reach of Boudelier. Now it's gathered in by Murphy. Cole Murphy plays it ahead. In across the blue line come the Cougars. 3 wide. There's a shot that gets blocked. And the Rangers work it quickly back out to center. Hines carries the puck in across the blue line. Cutting out to the right wing. Gets it in front. But it'll be cleared away from the front of the net. Gathered in at the line there by Singer. Singer ends up bringing it all the way down into the corner. Sends it to a line mate in front for Hines. But that gets beyond him and also beyond Boudelier. And out to center. Puck dumped back in. Both teams making changes. As the Cougars get the puck out to center, McIsaac will play it down into the Ranger zone where Clowater picks up. He'll pick up some speed, but then drop the puck back to Henry. He plays it across to Singer, up for Wenzel. Wenzel gets it into the zone, but not very deep as the puck was knocked down. Now it's back on the stick of Wenzel. He tries to get it down low. Ends up with Marmalak. He sends it off behind the net into the far corner. McIsaac is there for the Cougars. It ends up back on the stick of Wenzel. His shot gets blocked, and the puck gets to the line. Not out, held in at the point by Ingram. Played around the boards, out of the reach of Clowater. Clowater is able to chase it down, however. He's met immediately by a check, and the puck in behind the net. Gathered in by Isidore there. He's trying to tie it up. Looking to work the puck free was Wenzel. It does come free. Ingram pinches in from the point to try and help out in the corner. Now it's sent around to the far side. Sudds will get to the puck and looks to carry it ahead. Makes the lead pass for McIsaac. McIsaac just gets it past Blackwood. And now the Rangers get it back out. That's going to be an icing call, and we're going to get our first stoppage of play here with 4:30 gone in the first period. Quick reminder that we do like to try and be a little bit interactive here with our broadcasts on Petter Pictou Sports. If you want to send us a Facebook message, go to facebook.com/PetterPC_sports. That's PETTERPC Facebook.com/PetterPC Sports. Or the Twitter handle is at PetterPC_sports. Again, that's PETTERPC_sports. No underscore on the Facebook, just on the Twitter handle. Puck cleared down the length of the ice. Back to get it, Alex McDonald. He'll play it around. Tried to get it around for Murphy, but that's knocked down. Played to the front of the net and cleared away from the front there by Murphy. And now flipped out to center. Just gets past Foston. Forn not able to gather it in. And Lindsay will attempt to clear. That's gathered in by Pilling, though. Now a backhand shot. Steered aside by McLaughlin. Away from the wall. Pilling gets it down to Sinclair. There's a shot. And that's steered aside again by Nolan McLaughlin. McKinnon not able to clear the zone. He has to go back. Plays it back to Foston. Foston gets it off the boards. And then it's dumped back in deep. Foston back to get it. He gets taken down behind the net on the forecheck of Billard. Now the puck sent out to center, past Sudds and down the length of the ice, and that will be an icing call with 9 minutes, 11 seconds left to go here in the first period. Bright and early on a beautiful Saturday morning here in Truro. Worth noting that the Rangers played in the 4 o'clock game. That was their final game of the day, whereas the Cougars played the 6 o'clock game last night. And with this being such an early morning start, does that extra 2 hours that the Rangers had after their game to rest and come down versus the Cougars, their game ending 2 hours later, is that going to have a bit of an impact on the legs? Considering the youth and energy of these players, probably not a big impact, but certainly possible to have an impact on the game. Puck comes around the boards for Billard. He's able to get it set up there for Malcolm McDonald. Here comes McDonald coming in. McDonald takes the shot, save, and looking for the rebound there was Mills, but he wasn't able to pick it up as the kick of the rebound went past him. And the puck came out to center and then was brought back in again. And so we'll get an offside here with 6:38 gone in the opening period of the opening game of the day. 3 games left in the round robin to determine who will be playing in the semifinals at 5 o'clock and at 7:30 tonight. Worth noting as well, the 5 o'clock game will have the number 1 team against the number 4 team, and the 7:30 game will be 2 versus 3. Sinclair behind the net gets it out for Ford. Ford with a blast! And I believe that went off the outside of the net. Puck comes to the line. Suds will hold it in, send it around down into the corner. Ford waiting for it there. He gives it to Pilling. Pilling couldn't take it cleanly as his stick was tied up by Ingram. Now back to the line for Suds. His shot goes wide. Blackwood gives his man a bump as they both went to the puck. Now Ingram, he loses it. Centering pass. Nobody there to get it for the Cougars. Blackwood's pass intended for Clowater, but that misses the target and goes the length of the ice for an icing call. 7:24 left to go here in the opening period. Lots of great games so far, as we mentioned. In the 11 games that we've played, the biggest margin of victory for any one team has been just 3 goals. And even that was a situation where it was a 1-goal game going into the third period, and then 2 goals were scored there. We've actually had a 3-goal margin twice. The Rangers beat the Storm 5-2. The Whalers beat the Rangers 5-2. So the Rangers involved in both 3-goal games so far this weekend, on the winning side of one and on the losing side of the other. Face-off comes all the way back down into the Rangers zone here. And it's going to be Malcolm McDonald in to take the draw against Sexton. Sexton able to get the puck over to, that was Lindsay. And now here comes Hollett with the puck. Josh Hollett in across the line, takes the shot, save made by Stonehouse, and he'll cover up and hang on. That's just the second shot that the Rangers have managed here in the first period. Partly the fact that they have been shorthanded for 2 of the 8 minutes and 21 seconds that we've played. The Cougars with just 4 shots on goal so far. Both teams doing a good job defensively denying shots to get through onto either Stonehouse or McLaughlin. Down into the corner, Hines takes a bump but makes the pass. Return pass for Hines. He looks to get it back to the line. That pass out of the reach of Singer, however, and Singer has to hustle back to get to the puck. His attempt to play it forward, knocked down by Mills. Now we're going to get a penalty against Henry for hooking as he tied up Mills. And so for the second time in this game, the John L. Jim Cougars will go to the power play. The power play has been an area of a little bit of concern for the Cougars in that they have only scored 1 power play goal to this point in the tournament. and that came from Luke Sinclair. So that is one area that they definitely want to and need to improve upon. Puck cleared down the length of the ice. Stonehouse will play it around the boards to Sinclair. Sinclair takes it behind the net. Now out he'll come. Picking up some speed as he comes through center. Drops the puck off for Pilling, but Pilling was met immediately by a pair of Rangers, but the puck not able to be cleared. And now here comes Pilling. Pilling with the shot. Save made by McLaughlin, and he'll cover up and hang on for a face-off with 1:26 left to go here in the penalty. 5:36 left to go in the opening period. And it looks like Stonehouse in a bit of discomfort. Didn't see exactly what happened there, but William Stonehouse down, slow to get up, and not William Stonehouse, I'm at the wrong end of the ice. Nolan McLaughlin, a little slow to get up, my apologies. Nate Beaton will wait patiently to see if he needs to be called upon. And McLaughlin will come to the bench, so it looks like we are going to see the second goaltender of the Rangers. And William Stonehouse, that would be, or Nolan McLaughlin, that would be a significant loss for the Rangers here. Beaton coming in, did play one of the two games. And little bit, okay, so they're just taking the mask to the bench. Nate Beaton did play in one of the three games for the Rangers previously in this tournament. He has a record of 0-1 with a 5.0 goals against average and an .815 save percentage. And for Nolan McLaughlin, he played 9 minutes and 33 seconds of this game, faced 5 shots, made 5 saves. And we'll have to wait and see if he comes back to the bench even, or how he's doing. There's a shot from Pilling, and it's always tough for a goaltender to come in cold. Fortunately, we're still relatively early in this game, so Beaton still probably somewhat warm from the warm-up, but to come in the middle of a penalty kill, that's a bit of a challenge as well. But the Rangers in front of him doing a good job so far. He hasn't had to face a shot yet through 1 minute of penalty kill time. Gives him a time to get a bit of a feel for the game. And now the Rangers have the puck hemmed in the Cougar zone, trying to see which player that is who's got it tied up in there. I believe that is Dooley. And now Dooley gets taken down, and he's going to draw a penalty. So not only do the Rangers kill some penalty time, but Luke Dooley takes it so far as to draw a penalty himself, and after 5 seconds of 4-on-4, we'll have the first Ranger power play of the morning. Rangers with only 2 power play goals of their own so far, so their power play hasn't struck quite as much as perhaps they would like to this point in the tournament. Alex McDonald, the player who goes off at 10:45 with the penalty. And now that the Rangers are on the power play, Marmalak with the shot, that hits a body in front, and the puck launched down the length of the ice. Beaton with his first touch of the puck in the game as he settled it down there for Foston. Foston able to skate the puck ahead, has a little bit of room. And roughing is the call on that penalty. I was looking down when the referee went over and made the signal, so I missed what the call was. So glad to get confirmation of that. Marmalak wins the draw back towards Lindsay, but Suds was there quickly to poke the puck, and he got it to Billard, who's able to send it the rest of the way down the ice, and the Rangers have to set up in their own zone with 1:20 now left in the power play. Here's Clowater. He'll come in across the line with Clark. Clowater takes it down towards the corner, takes a hit, and that's going to be another penalty against the Cougars, and slow to get up. And we're going to see what they call here. And I think our officials are going to talk it over to see, or no, we're going to get a 2-minute tripping penalty. So it's going to be a 5-on-3 here for 1 minute and 4 seconds as Gavin Suds takes the tripping penalty in this. A great opportunity for the Rangers, over 1 minute of 5-on-3 time. Foston with the puck. Looking for a shooting position, doesn't find one, gets it over to Lindsay, who shot, and they thought it had gone in, but it went off the iron and stayed out. Now a shot by Foston, and that goes wide. Foston with it again. Takes another shot, that one blocked by Isidore. And now Clowater gets the puck behind the net. He gives it over to Marmalak, back over to Clowater. 23 seconds left in the 5-on-3. Foston in the corner. Back to Clowater, but the pass was deflected, and Clowater has to go chase it down out in center ice. Good deflection there by Pilling to get the puck out. Just 8 seconds left in the 5-on-3. Here's Foston with it now. Foston stepping in, gets it over to Lindsay with the shot, and the blocker save made there. First penalty has expired. 48 seconds left in the second penalty as we're down to a 5-on-4 once again. Over at the wall, there's a shot from McKinnon, and the save made, and that'll be cleared down the length of the ice with now just 34 seconds left. Lindsay takes a bump there, as in forechecking hard was Malcolm McDonald. Picking up the puck is Henry. He'll dump it down the ice, comes off the end boards. Isidore gets to the puck first, plays it off the wall, knocked down by Wenzel. He gets it over to Hines. Hines to the far wall. In front for Hollett. Hollett with a shot, he scores! Josh Hollett, his third goal of the tournament, comes with 8 seconds left in the penalty. 13:33 gone here in the first period. And the Rangers strike first. It is 1-0 off the power play goal by Josh Hollett. His third goal, third point of the tournament, his second power play goal. And we'll wait to get confirmation on the assists here in just a second. And not sure what that conversation was about, but here we go. Hines with an assist. Hines with the only assist on that. So again, Josh Hollett, third goal, third point, second power play goal, assisted by Hines at 13:33 on the power play. Here in the first period, gives the Rangers the 1-0 lead. Pilling with it at the wall. He takes a bump from Henry, gets it down to Sinclair. As the Cougars play from behind here in a must-win game for them. They know that if they lose or even if they tie, they will be eliminated. There's a nice kick save made by Nate Beaton, his first save of the morning after coming in to replace Nolan McLaughlin, who went down with an injury. We don't know the nature or the extent of that injury. Puck ended up going up and out of play, so we'll get a stoppage here with 40.3 seconds left to go in the first period. And we want to once again remind you that this game of the Coltech Nova Scotia Under 15 Major Hockey League Provincial Championship, being brought to you by Wilson's Heating. Here's Sinclair with the puck. He gets it down into the corner. Ford picks up there. Ford in front for Sinclair, and another nice save by Beaton. And the stoppage with 28.2 seconds left. Nice pass out front for Sinclair, and he got a good shot away, but Nate Beaton out at the top of his crease, challenging and able to make the save. Now the puck, neither side won it cleanly off of the faceoff. Finally, the Rangers get possession and bring it out to center. It's dumped back in. Foston gets it back out, up ahead for Dooley. Here's Dooley in across the line. Dooley, a couple of nice moves, gets the shot away, but it goes wide. Another shot, and the save made there by Stonehouse. 2 seconds left in the period. One final shot. That gets off the side of the net. And we will come to the end of period number one with the Cougars out shooting the Rangers 7-6. But the Rangers, despite being outshot, get the only goal of the first period. A power play marker by Josh Hollett gives them the 1-0 lead after the opening 15 minutes. While we've got a quick break here, we'd like to allow the Truro Bearcats and the organizing committee to once again take time to acknowledge the support of the the tournament sponsors. Gold level sponsor Coltech Windows and Entrance Systems, silver level sponsor Macquarie's PharmaSave, bronze level sponsors Motor Hub Automotive Group, Stanfield's Limited, Dairy Queen, and Birchall McDougall. Again, if the Rangers win this game, they can finish no worse than second. It would depend on whether the Bombers win the next game and by how much. If the Rangers win, they would finish either first or second, depending on the Bombers, whether they win and by how much. And the Cougars would be eliminated. However, there's still 2 periods left to go, so a lot still to be determined. And we've seen that this Cougar team will fight to the very end in every game. Puck comes out to center. Blackwood dumps it back in again. Now pass across to McIsaac. He'll gain the red line, go to dump it in, but it's knocked down at the blue line by Blackwood. He plays it as far as the Cougar blue line. And Alex McDonald's pass intercepted by Ingram. He'll gain center ice and then dump the puck down. In to get it on the forecheck there was McKinnon. Out in front, tried to get it to Clark. That was not McKinnon, that was Marmalak rather. Now with it at the line, Ingram, his shot, that goes wide, comes off the end boards. And William Stonehouse not taking any chances. He'll cover up and hang on for a face-off with 53 seconds gone here in the first period. Coming up next, it'll be the Wolverines and Bombers, and then the final game of the round robin, the Whalers and the Storm, coming up at noon. Then we'll have a little bit of a break before we get to the semifinals later tonight. Puck comes back to the line. There's a shot that gets blocked. And now Mills kicks the puck to set it up there for Billard. Billard getting across the line, drops it off to Mills. Mills plays it down in the corner, back for Billard again. Billard sends it behind the net. It comes back to Billard in the corner. And then the Rangers create the turnover, and out they come. Boudelier will dump the puck down into the Cougar end, go chasing after it. Murphy gets there ahead of him, plays it around to the far side, tried to set it up for Billard. And now Billard will get it out for Mills. Mills redirects that puck in. Singer will go back and pick up for the Rangers. Played around to the far side. Hines reverses the field back to the near side. And now out to center. With it comes Boudelier. He gets met immediately, though, by the check of Malcolm McDonald. Hines picks up the loose puck. And it's played over to Singer. Singer not able to clear the zone. Now it does come out. and Billard has to hustle back to get it. He'll play it across to Suds. Or to Isidore, rather. Excuse me. That's 10, not 19. The one criticism I have of the John L. Jim Cougar jerseys is the number sits a little bit low. So if a jersey gets tucked into the pants at all, you only see the top half of the number, so it's hard to tell a 10 from a 19 from an 18. Dawson in for checking. And now the Rangers come out. Puck dumped deep into the Cougar end. Back to get it is Murphy. He'll work it off the boards and out. Hustling back to get on the puck there is McKinnon. McKinnon plays it up the wall. Out to center. Wenzel takes a bump from Alec McDonald. But here comes Lindsay. Lindsay trying to work his way around the Cougar defense, but not able to do so. Now it's played across to the far side. And Dawson played it back to the defense. Now here's McKinnon with it. McKinnon tried to get it to Marmalak, but that was knocked free. Now Lindsay with it. He'll get a shot away. That's blocked in front by Suds. And the puck cleared out to center. McKinnon back to pick up. 3.5 gone here, second period. Rangers leading by a goal. Wenzel can't get that puck gathered in. It's played out. And now it'll be carried ahead by Foston. He'll play it over. Return pass for Foston. But Foston's stick was tied up just a little bit. Now we're going to have an interference penalty against the Cougars as the stick of Foston was flipped way up high into the air out of his hands. And so and Suds trying to argue that I just went to lift his stick. He let go of it. But he's not going to win that argument. And so with 3:38 gone here in the second period, Cougars go shorthanded for the third time in this game. Rangers are 1 for 2 with the power play, as that is the only goal of the game so far. Scored by Josh Hollett. With it in the corner, Hines. He takes a hit from Isidore. Coming in to help out is Hollett, but Isidore pins Hines to the board again. Now Wenzel will help get the puck free. He loses it to Billard, and Billard able to play it out to center. Henry gets it across to Boudelier. Boudelier will bring it back in across the blue line. Back to Henry. There's a shot deflected. It goes just up over the crossbar. Hollett back on it. Back to Henry. He gives to Boudelier. Boudelier skates it down. Now returns to Henry. Henry shot. Gets knocked down by the block from Billard. And out to center it comes. The Rangers have to regroup and bring it back in across the line. Wenzel gets it to Hines in the corner. Hines trying to set it up for Hollett, who is crashing towards the net, but that pass doesn't connect. Now Wenzel takes a hit in the corner. Hollett comes over to get the puck. He tried to play it back to Wenzel, but it was intercepted. Rangers win it back to the line to Henry. He gives back to Wenzel again. To Henry, there's a shot, and it goes off the stick of Pilling into the crease. And Stonehouse able to find it, and he'll cover up and hang on. 31 seconds left in the penalty. 9:43 left to go here in the second period. The Cougars doing a good job on this penalty kill. They're being aggressive on the puck, which they need to be to force the Rangers to move maybe a little bit more quickly than they want to. Foston with it now. Plays it across. Gets the return pass. Foston now comes near side for Marmalak. Marmalak with the shot. That's deflected up over the glass and out of play. And we'll get another stoppage with 17 seconds left in the penalty and 9:30 left to go in the second period. It is Marmalak in taking the draw against Pilling. Pilling won it towards the wall, but it ended up going to Clowater. He plays it back to the line to Foston. Foston skates it along the blue line to the center of the ice, gets a shot away, but Stonehouse able to see that one all the way in and make the save and hang on with now 7 seconds left in the penalty. Marmalak and Pilling to take the draw yet again. This time neither player really wins it cleanly. Clowater comes in to pick up the puck, plays it back to the line. Shot from Lindsay, and that gets redirected wide. We're back to 5-on-5. Marmalak with a shot. That goes off the blocker of Stonehouse into the corner. Clowater takes a bump there from Alex McDonald, And now over to pick it up is Clark. Clark trying to get a centering pass. That's broken up by Mills. And Mills ends up playing it softly back to his own goaltender. And Stonehouse will cover up and hang on. 8:54 left to go here in the second period. The Cougars now have successfully killed 2 of the 3 penalties that they've taken. Rangers have successfully killed 2 of 2 penalties that they've taken. And the one successful power play that the Rangers had is the one and only goal that we have seen so far here in this morning's game. Puck dumped deep into the John Old Jim Cougar net or end. Stonehouse plays it around the boards, and then it's deflected out to center. Blackwood with it now, gets it forward. Sexton will deflect it down towards the corner. McDonald gets to it just ahead of Dooley. He plays it around for Isidore. Michel Isidore. And I want to thank his mom for coming over and straightening me out on the pronunciation of his first name. Puck picked up now by McKinnon. He went to play it down the boards, and that was knocked down. And now coming out with it is McIsaac. McIsaac gets it down deep into the Ranger end. Ingram picks up, trying to get some speed going as he clears the zone, plays it off the boards. It ends up on the stick of Suds. Suds gets it back a second time. Now he'll try to flip it in, but it's knocked down by Ingram. Ingram gives to Blackwood, and Blackwood will carry ahead, gain the red line, dump the puck in. Suds to pick up down below his own goal line, and he'll start to work his way up the right side of the ice. Gets it pass across to the left side for Pilling, but that gets broken up, and back with Suds again down below his own goal line. He'll come out from behind his net again. Suds fighting through the check of Hines, gets the pass ahead. Now Pilling with it, back down to that's not Sinclair. I'll get that figured out. It's Ford. There's a shot. That gets cleared away. Clark across to Hines. Hines in across the blue line, takes the shot. That goes wide. Clark picks it up in the near side corner as we're looking at it. Clark gets tied up in that corner. Puck comes out to Boudelier. Boudelier trying to get through Suds. Can't get a shot away as Suds able to knock the puck off his stick. Sinclair gets it out to center. Dumped back in with just over 6.5 left to go here in the second period. Lead pass deflected the rest of the way down the ice. Back to get it is Foston. He'll play it around to the near side for Hines. Up for Wenzel. Here's Wenzel working in. Gets it to Clowater. Clowater to the middle of the ice. Takes the shot and scores! Aiden Clowater given time and space to shoot as nobody attacked him. And from the high slot, Aiden Clowater had time to pick his target and get the shot away and put it top corner for Clowater. That's his 4th goal, 5th point of the weekend. And that will make it 2-0 for the Rangers.
The Rangers goal scored by number 27,
And
Aiden Clowater. Assisted by number 12, Casey Wenzel.
Lindsay and Wenzel with the assists. So again, that is Aiden Clowater's 4th goal, 5th point of the weekend, assisted by Ben Lindsay and Casey Wenzel at 8:46 of the second period to give the Rangers that 2-0 lead. And as we've mentioned, if the Rangers win, we know that they will finish either first or second depending on the outcome of the Bombers game, which will be the very next game here against the Halifax Wolverines. Puck comes out in front. There's a chance for Malcolm McDonald, but making a huge save there is beaten. Now here comes Wenzel. Wenzel down along the wall. Has Marmalak with him, but the Cougars able to force the turnover. Out to center it comes, and Clowater will play it back to Singer. Singer gets it ahead. Marmalak goes to dump it down, and it ends up on the stick of McDonald, who went to dump it back down the ice the other way, but it ends up in the Ranger bench and will get a stoppage with 5:18 to go. The reason I refer to it as the Bombers game when talking about how it will impact on the Rangers is because the only team that would be able to catch the Rangers for first are the Bombers. The outcome as it affects the Wolverines would not affect the Rangers. So that's why I'm referring to it as the Bombers game, because the tiebreaker would be between the Bombers and the Rangers if they both end up winning. Puck cleared down the length of the ice. And that'll be an icing as Mills could not get a piece of that puck. 4:57 left to go here in the second period. On a beautiful morning here in fantastic Truro, Nova Scotia, the hub city. And again, thanks for joining us so early on a Saturday morning, wherever you're tuning in from. Whether you're from up in the Sydney area where the Cougars play out of, or from down towards East Hants where the Rangers play out of, or watching from much further afield, wherever you are, we hope you're enjoying your cup of coffee on a Saturday morning and being here with us at Colchester Legion Stadium. Isidore gives the puck to Suds, who gets it ahead to Mills, and Mills will dump it the rest of the way down the ice. Back to get it, Henry. He's got Burke right on top of him. Henry plays it into the near side corner. Mills is the first one there. He'll send it over to Burke on the far side. Burke sends it back to Mills in the near corner. Mills takes a bump, and the Rangers get possession. Played around to the far side boards. Pinching in from the line is Murphy. Murphy throws it towards the front of the net. It goes all the way through to the near wall, and then the Rangers will get it down the ice and relieve the pressure by icing the puck with 3:52 left to go here in the second. That puck almost stopped before reaching the goal line, but had just enough steam to get it past the goal line and get the icing call. Face-off will be to the left of Ranger goaltender Nate Beaton. If you're just joining us, Beaton did not get the start in this game. It was Nolan McLaughlin. He played about the first not quite 10 minutes, about 9.5 minutes, and then came out with a injury. We don't know the exact status of the injury, and the extent whether McLaughlin might be available for a semifinal game this evening, or if it might be Beaton who is going to be relied upon to go the rest of the way. McDonald dumps the puck down into the Cougar bench, and we'll get another stoppage with 3:37 left to go here in the second period. Face off just outside the Cougar blue line. Pilling and Boudelier to take the draw. Comes back to Alex McDonald. He'll get it to Sinclair, but Sinclair having trouble getting by Lindsay. He finally does, but couldn't get past Boudelier. And now the puck ends up in the Ranger bench, as we have to question if there's danger pay involved with being one of the coaches on either of these benches, as the puck has gone into a couple different. I thought that was, I recognized that assistant coach for the Rangers. Pictou County native and former Pictou County Junior A crusher Garrett Holmes was the player, or was the coach, who just about got hit with that one. Now we got another late change made by the Rangers. And so a bit of a pause here while we sort out who's supposed to be on the ice and who's not. And it's Blackwood and Ingram who will be the defensive pair to be out there for this face-off. And Blackwood ends up on the puck, turns and goes to play it, and it ends up in the Rangers bench. So now they'll get the defensive pairing that they want out there. And it's Foston going out with Lindsay. Now they're going to talk it over to see where who knocked the puck in and therefore where the face-off should be. And the end decision is that the face-off is right where it was just a few seconds before. Pilling and Boudelier to take the draw again as we get the do-over. Or for golfers, the mulligan. I'd love to know where that term mulligan came from. I know it's a golf term for basically a chance at a do-over, but why is it called a mulligan? The things you think about on a Saturday morning. There's Marmalak with the shot, the save made by Stonehouse, as I'm getting my goaltenders mixed up again. And we'll get a face-off with just under 3 minutes left to go here in the second period. Shots on goal right now 13-9 in favor of the Rangers. And now a quick conversation over at the Cougar bench with the officials and the coaches. And it's an issue with one of the Cougars helmets, it looks like now. And so waiting to see how this gets resolved. And whatever the situation was, we're ready to move on here with 2:53 left. Winning the draw was Malcolm McDonald. Singer able to hold the puck in with a great leap. Give that an Hakeem Olajuwon block there for Singer, but this time the puck gets past him. Olajuwon, of course, one of the greatest blockers in NBA history. There's a shot save made by Beaton, and then a second chance goes through Beaton, but ends up going wide of the net. Another shot, that gets steered aside as well. Now the Rangers look to get possession, and they will clear the zone. Hines avoids a hit from Mills, but then coughs up the puck. Henry has to go back into his own zone to get it, plays it off the boards, takes a bit of a weird bounce. Boudelier able to find Hines with it. Hines takes a hit along the wall, can't get the puck over to Dooley. Now it comes back to Singer. Singer will find Dooley, and Dooley will just dump it in as he saw that Alex McDonald was coming in on him in a hurry. Murphy will pick up the puck and start to carry it ahead down the left wing side. Saw he was losing his angle, so played it back to Alex McDonald. Back across to Murphy again, ahead for Dawson. Dawson on his own side of center, deflected it down the ice, and that will be an icing with 1:37 left to go here in period number 2. This the first of 3 straight round-robin games here on the final day of the round-robin portion. We still have semifinals this evening and gold and bronze medal games tomorrow. And, of course, the gold medal winning team will go on to represent Nova Scotia at the Atlantic Championships early next month, I think 2 weeks from now, in Quispamsis, New Brunswick. And speaking of Atlantics, the Halifax McDonald's and Northern Subway Selects representing Nova Scotia at Atlantics this weekend. There's Hollett with a shot that goes wide. Sexton with the puck. Sends it around the boards. Selects 2-0 after a couple of convincing victories. McDonald's, I believe, are 2-1. I think they won yesterday. I know they were 1-1 after the first day, and I believe they won yesterday as well. Here's Blackwood with the puck. And, of course, in both of those tournaments, the winners will go on to represent the Atlantic region at the National Championships. The TELUS Cup for the male or integrated hockey and the Esso Cup for the female hockey. Both of those being played in Okotoks coming up in early May. Puck sent down into the Ranger end. Back to get it will be Lindsay. He'll play it around for Foston. Foston up the boards to Clowater. Clowater will get it out to center. Knocked down by Alex McDonald. Just a couple of seconds left in the period, and that will do it. Shots on goal in the second period by the Rangers, 7, a two-period total of 13, and by the Cougars, 5, a two-period total of 10. Or sorry, 7-3 for a two-period total of 10. And we want to once again acknowledge the Game 12 sponsor, Wilson's Heating, and the gold level sponsor, Coltec Windows and Entrance Systems, silver sponsor, McCory's PharmaSave, bronze level sponsors, Motor Hub Automotive Group, Stanfield's Limited, Dairy Queen, and Birchall McDougall. So after two periods of play, the Rangers lead the Cougars 2-0. We'll take a break, come back, get you ready for the third in just a few minutes. You are watching the 2022 Coltec Nova Scotia Under-15 Major Hockey League Provincial Championship here on Pictou Sports through AOTV. Welcome back as we get ready for the start of the third period here. Rangers 20 minutes away from clinching a top 2 seed for the semifinals. The Cougars 20 minutes away from possibly having their season come to an end unless they can get 3 at least goals, as they currently trail by 2, and they know they must get a victory. A tie will not do it for the Cougars. And I want to send a big shout out and a thank you to Shan Singer for sending me this information. The term mulligan, named after a locker room attendant at the club named John A. Buddy Mulligan, who worked at the club during the 1930s and was known for replaying shots, particularly on the first tee. Thanks for sending that to me, Shan. Much appreciated. That's the cool thing about doing this job. You ask a question and somebody invariably will go out and find the answer for you, and that is much appreciated. Third period underway, and Malcolm McDonald pushes the puck right down into the Rangers zone to start with, but it's brought back out again quickly, and here comes Hollett. Hollett gets the pass over to Dooley. Dooley not able to get a shot away. Now the puck comes back up the boards to Hollett. Down into the corner for Dooley. He takes a hit there and takes another hit as he was already down on his knees. A dangerous hit there, and a penalty coming up against the Cougars. And the penalty is going to be called head contact. And so the Rangers already with a 2-goal lead. A chance to extend that lead here with a penalty just 29 seconds into the third period. And it's going to be Sudds who goes off for that head contact penalty. And so the Rangers, who are 1 for 3 with the man advantage so far today, a chance to extend that lead here with the power play. Foston, the captain, with the puck. Gives it over to Marmalak, back to Foston. Foston gets it down towards the corner. Looking to go cross crease with that pass, but not able to take it cleanly, was the intended target of Lindsay. Foston sends it into the slot. Not able to get a shot away was Clowater. He got it over to Lindsay, who gave to Marmalak. Marmalak with the shot. That gets blocked in front. Now to Foston. He'll take it down. Thrown towards the front of the net. Stonehouse got his stick on it to try and clear it, but it only went as far as Marmalak, who got a shot away, and then that went into the end glass and ends up being launched down the length of the ice. Beaten to settle it down there. Just about a minute gone in the penalty. Henry will set it up for Marmalak. Here's Marmalak coming through center, in across the blue line. Down towards the corner. He'll stop and set up. Now get it back to Clowater. Clowater gives to Henry. Henry to Wenzel. Back for Henry, but that's broken up. And here comes a shorthanded chance for Rory Pilling. Pilling coming in alone. Pilling with a shot, and he scores! Rory Pilling intercepts the pass, goes down the ice shorthanded on the breakaway, and gives his team a big momentum boost with the shorthanded goal. The team's second shorthanded goal of the tournament. And it is now 2-1. Rory Pilling unassisted, his second goal, 5th point of the tournament, tying him with Luke Sinclair for the team lead in points. Still plenty of time left here in the third period with that goal here in the early stages, and a big momentum boost for the Cougars. If they can finish off this penalty kill now and only 14 seconds left in it, that will add. Boudelier had to come out to center as the pass came out across the line. Now Henry will carry it back in. We're about to go back to 5-on-5. Henry takes it behind the net. Sends it back behind himself for Hollett. Hollett We are back to 5-on-5. Gets it to Henry. Henry comes over to the near side for Hines. Hines into the middle, takes a shot, and the blocker save made by Stonehouse as he was partially screened but able to get his blocker in front of that one. Hollick goes to play it back to the line. It ends up splitting the D and going all the way down the ice, rolls right in onto Beaton, who sets it up there for Foston. Foston trying to get away from the check of Sinclair. Circles back and then plays it over to the near side for Henry, who flips it up and over the glass and out of play. And so we'll get a stoppage with 3:06 gone here in the third period. And now it is a one-goal game. And again, the Cougars know that they need to get a victory to give themselves a shot at being in the games later tonight at 5 and 7:30. Those are the semifinal games. And again, the ultimate goal for all 7 of the teams that are still here. All 7 of them still in the running. Nobody mathematically out of it yet. The ultimate goal is the provincial championship and a trip to Quispamsis in a couple of weeks. McKinnon gets hauled down there by Isidore, and we're going to have another penalty against the Cougars when they touch the puck. Beaton gets to the bench for the extra attacker. There's a shot. It comes off the end boards. There's McKinnon with a blast, and that goes wide. And the Cougars do get to the puck, and so we'll get another penalty here. Hooking is the indication this time, and it is going to be Misael Isidore. It helps if I can actually read my own writing and remember what people tell me. Misael Isidore with the penalty for hooking. And so now a 4th power play for the Rangers here this morning. They are 1 for 3. They've also given up a shorthanded goal, so they've ended up even when it comes to their power play here today. Marmalak. Pass ends up hitting the skate of Sinclair. Now back to the line. Foston gets it down to Clowater. Clowater trying to go short side, but that's steered away. Clowater back on the puck. Now we'll play it back to Foston. Foston sends it over for Marmalak. Marmalak gets it back to Foston. Foston shot. That goes wide. Marmalak will chase it down at the wall, and we're going to get another stoppage as the net came loose. With 1:11 left to go in the man advantage for the Rangers. 15:20 left to go here in the third period of yet another very close game here at this tournament. This is game 12, and this has been exciting game 12. We have not had any games in this tournament that have been overly one-sided. It has been fantastic hockey all the way around. There's a shot up off the post from Lindsay, and we were that close to a 3-1 score. Now there's a shot. Stonehouse makes the save. Puck comes back to Lindsay. He can't get a shot away, and now here comes a 2-on-1 shorthanded. Malcolm McDonald has Pilling with him. McDonald to Pilling. He scores! Rory Pilling's second shorthanded goal of the period, and we're tied up at 2. Rory Pilling, give Malcolm McDonald a ton of credit as he made the perfect pass right on to the stick of Rory Pilling. All Pilling had to do was just put his stick down and let McDonald hit it with the puck. Give Pilling credit that he got his stick into the right place, but Malcolm McDonald made that play happen. Rory Pilling, second of the game, third of the tournament, and second shorthanded goal, his 6th point, assisted by Malcolm McDonald. For McDonald, that's his 5th assist of the tournament. Scored shorthanded at 5:07. And all of a sudden, we've got ourselves a tie hockey game again. For the Cougars, the job not done yet, though. We saw a similar situation in yesterday's game where the Bearcats were tied 1-1, but to borrow an expression, they were trailing 1-1 because a tie wouldn't have helped them. They ended up scoring a goal after they pulled their goalie for an extra attacker to get the 2-1 victory over Halifax. And the Cougars still plenty of time left, though, 14 minutes, and we're back to 5-on-5 now. But they know that they need a victory to get to 2-2 and then hope for some tiebreakers to fall their way. Here come the Rangers, but an offside call as Wenzel had to change directions just slightly, and that change of angle ended up putting Henry in across the blue line just a little bit early. So we'll get a stoppage with 13:42 left to go here in the third period. And now dumped in by Ingram, and that goes off of Stonehouse and takes a weird bounce. And I don't think Stonehouse was 100% sure where that puck was. Dangerous bounce there. And now we're going to get an offside against the Cougars with 6:35 gone here in the third period. Tied up at 2. If this score holds, the Rangers will move temporarily into sole possession of first place with a 2-1-1 record. And the Bombers would have a chance to clinch first with a victory in the game against the Wolverines coming up next, as they would have a 2-1 record. The Wolverines at 1-1-1 would have a chance to move into a tie with the Rangers at 2-1-1, as would the Storm in their game. And then we could end up with a three-way tie of teams at 5 points, and then we'd have to spend time doing some next-level calculus to figure out who would be first, who would be second, and who would be third. But, of course, as that puck ends up going up into the air and hitting one of the speakers here at the Colchester Legion Stadium. And so the face-off will come back down into the Cougars' end. 12:43 left to go. Lots to still figure out before we even contemplate what kind of tiebreaker scenarios we have to calculate. But with this game in a tie right now, the Wolverines, the Storm, the Bombers all still could potentially finish first. And the Rangers still potentially could finish first with this score as it currently stands. Lots still in play, pending the outcomes of this and the two other games today. Nearing in to take the draw for the Cougars against, that is Boudelier, the two number 15s. Or sorry, no, that was 19, Marmalak. Marmalak wins the draw. Henry has the puck now. His pass deflected by Nearing, but he ends up putting it right onto the stick of Marmalak. Marmalak, nice little move there. Gets a shot away, looking to go far post, and ends up putting it just wide. 8 minutes gone here, third period. Wenzel not able to get a shot away as he was trying to get himself into position. Cougars get it out to center. Singer with it now. He'll play it off the boards. Ahead for Wenzel. In across the line. Wenzel comes across to the near side. Marmalak with the shot. Steered aside by Stonehouse. Puck comes to McKinnon. To Singer rather. He fires a blast. Now back to the line. Henry sends it back down towards the corner. Wenzel going in behind the net after it against Isidore. Isidore able to take him out. Puck comes up the wall and McInnes will send it down the length of the ice. And that will be an icing call with 8.5 gone here in the third period. Tied up at 2 goals apiece. Stick around after the game for the presentation of the Coltech, the Wilson's Heating players of the game. And again, the Rangers trying to get a late change in. They're not going to be able to do so. The Cougars are the home team in this game, so they do get last change. That means Blackwood and Foston have to come back out onto the ice. And Ingram and Lindsay come off. Now the Cougars make their late change. And they're trying to argue that the Rangers were late finishing their change, so we should get last change. And the chess match of trying to match lines continues here. And while they sort all this out, we sit and wait with 11:30 left to go. And with the importance of this game and with the current score and time left to go, any edge that either team can gather by getting the matchup that they want obviously is incredibly important. And so when all is said and done, it's going to be Ford with Pilling and I believe Sinclair, the third forward in that unit, who are out there against McKinnon, Hines, and Clark. And it is Sinclair who is the third forward. You got that confirmed now. There's Hines with a shot, and the save made by Stonehouse, and he'll hang on for another face-off. Now the Rangers change one defenseman, and the Cougars change their whole forward unit. Lindsay comes on to replace Ingram, and Malcolm McDonald, Billard, and Mills come on as the new forward unit for the Cougars. Foston trying to hold the puck in at the line. He can't. Boudelier will pick it up in neutral ice. He'll play it off the boards. Sent back the other way there. And now Foston back to get it. 9 minutes left to go here, or 9 minutes gone rather here in the third period. Pass nearly intercepted by Mills, but it gets through to Clark. Clark sends it down the ice, chases it down, plays it towards the front of the net. It ends up going off a skate and into the near side corner. Now Hines in the corner, takes a couple of bumps. Battle along the wall. It gets moved out, and Billard gets the pass ahead for Mills. Mills can't get by, though, as a great effort by Lindsay to tie up that puck, and now here comes Foston. He'll work down the right wing. Foston gets it to Hines, takes a hit from Isidore as he made the pass. Now 3-4 players coming out of it, out of the corner is Boudelier, and he scores! Xander Boudelier with 10-12 left to go in the third period puts the Rangers back out in front. For Boudelier, his second goal, third point of the tournament. And not sure if it's a unassisted goal or not. Couldn't tell for sure whether he brought that puck out of the crowd by himself or if it was passed to him. We'll have to wait and see. It's Max Blackwood getting the assist on that, so Xander Boudelier, his second goal, third point from Max Blackwood at 9:48 of the third period. Puts the Rangers back in front again. There's a shot, beaten. Made the save, and then it rolled down the front of his equipment and nearly fell into the net. Here comes Hollett the other way now, gets it over. There's a chance, and putting it just wide of the net there was McKinnon. Great chance for the Rangers to extend their lead, but McKinnon I think, tried to make the one extra pass to set it up for Hollett instead of taking the shot himself. Now McKinnon takes a shot, and the save is made by Stonehouse, and he'll hang on for a face-off with 9:20 left to go. Now, if this result holds, there are only two possible teams who could finish in first, either the Rangers or the Bombers. The constantly shifting scenarios as a result of the constantly shifting scoreboard in this game. Puck comes to the line. Ingram holds it in there, plays it down the boards to Clark. Clark with a shot. Couple of chances there for Wenzel. He can't get it tucked underneath Stonehouse. And now getting to the puck, nearing. He'll play it in behind the net for his defense. Murphy trying to come out, but Clowater cutting down the angle. Murphy changes direction, tries to get it to the near side. Burke can't clear the zone. Clowater gets a shot. That's saved by Stonehouse. Now in behind the net. Puck comes free into the corner. Played up the wall, and Burke will get it out to center. Past Marmalak and down the ice. Not hard enough for an icing, or close enough to Marmalak that icing gets waved off, I should say. Now pass ahead the other way. Clowater will get the puck. Clowater coming in, gets a shot away. That's blocked. And the Cougars will quickly turn it back up ice. Pass ahead for Dawson. He gets it back to Suds, who gets the shot off. And the save made. And then after the whistle, a bit of a spill taken by one of our linesmen. And we'll get the face-off. And our linesman will get some of the snow off here with 8:15 left to go in the third period. In behind the net, Foston with the puck. He'll play it forward. And Boudelier, who has the goal that is the difference right now, got it as far as the blue line, then had it knocked off his stick. Foston fans on a pass attempt. Billard comes in. Here's Billard with it now. Billard coming in, gets the shot away, and Beaton able to make the save. Pass across for Clark. Clark coming in by himself. Stops, waits for help, and then just sends the puck deep in behind the net. Suds gets it. He'll fire it around the boards. Comes up the wall to Billard. Now knocked off the stick of Malcolm McDonald. He gets it right back again. Uses the boards to play it around to the far side. And there to get it is Mills. Mills sends it in behind the net. That'll come free to the near side. And taking a bump there is McKinnon. And the puck is cleared out down to center, or down into the Rangers zone. 7:13 to go. Pass ahead for Hollett as they try to catch the Cougars on a change. But good hustle there by Murphy to get over and deny Hollett from getting a shot away. Ingram dumps the puck in. Back to get it will be Murphy under his own goal line. Now he'll start to work his way ahead. Flips it out to center. That's knocked down by Hollett. And he'll dump it right back in. And the Cougars have to go back all the way down below their own goal and set up here with 6:40 left. Murphy turns and fires it up to the near boards for Ford. Ford has to go back and get it. Tries to clear the zone. Henry knocks that down. He'll play it down the wall. And it goes in behind the net. Alex McDonald, his pass hops over the stick of Murphy, but Murphy able to get to it, pokes it ahead for Sinclair. Sinclair's pass just out of the reach of Ford, and Henry back to get it. He uses the boards to get it up to Sexton. Sexton will launch it down the ice, and that will be an icing call with 6:13 left here in the third period, and the Rangers leading by a goal, 3-2. Is the current score line in favor of the Rangers over the John L. Jim Cougars. Final game of the round robin for both of these teams. Possibly final game of the tournament for both of these teams. If this result holds, the Rangers know that they will be playing tonight. They don't know whether they would be the number 1 or the number 2 seed. If this result holds, the John L. Jim Cougars season will come to an end, and what a season it has been for them. But we still have a lot of time left to change that fate and that outcome. Here's Clowater with the puck. Clowater has it knocked off his stick. Following up Foston, he'll send it down low. Gets just out of the reach of Wenzel. Wenzel chases it down behind the net. And now we'll get a stoppage as the net ends up getting knocked loose. With 5:47 left here in the third period. And the clock starting to loom a little bit larger here as again, as we've mentioned a few times, Cougars need a victory in order to stay alive. So even though they trail by one, they need to score twice to be able to extend their season. And it will obviously as well, if they do come back and get the victory, they'll be tied with the Truro Bearcats at 2-2 amongst teams who are finished. They'll also be tied with the Rangers at 2-2 amongst teams who are finished. But right now, the Rangers, who are 2-1, do carry a lead into the final 5.5 minutes. Puck dumped down the ice, back to get it was Ingram. He plays it up the boards, not able to clear the zone. Ford gets it now in the corner. Has it knocked away from him, but it ends up on the stick of Pilling. Pilling with two shorthanded goals already today. Pilling gets it out to Ford. Ford can't get the shot away. Pilling comes back and picks up the loose puck. Rory Pilling with it again. Nice little toe drag. Can't get the shot on target though. Behind the net, Sinclair tries a wraparound. And able to shut the door there is beaten. Now back to the line. Shot from the point goes off of Wenzel and into the end boards. Ingram ties it up. 4:50 left. Battle in below the goal line. 4 players in there. Puck finally worked free and Ingram will have it. Feeds it ahead, trying to spring Wenzel, but a nice play by Alex McDonald to deny that pass. And then the Rangers just send it down the ice, and that will be an icing. 4:32 left on the clock. $10 o'clock will be Bombers and Wolverines. 12 o'clock will be Whalers and Storm. And then a break, and we'll have the semifinals at 5 and 7:30. All semifinal places still to be determined. Suds at the line, plays it down to Nearing. Nearing has it knocked off his stick. Dawson comes in to get it, but he can't. And it goes over to Hines. Hines to the line and out. Dumped right back in again by Murphy. Dawson quickly touches up. And now with it is Foston. He plays it up the wall, but it's knocked down. Nearing trying to bring it back down towards the corner. Foston takes it off of his stick. Dawson following up. He can't get it gathered in. And now it finally comes to Foston. He'll play it around to Clark at the far wall. Clark trying to create some space for himself to get a breakout going, but the Cougars aggressive on the forecheck as they must be, trailing by a goal here with 3.5 minutes left. Puck tied up along the boards, finally comes out to Dawson. His pass for McIsaac goes into his feet, and able to take advantage is Boudelier as he comes out. Boudelier gets taken off of the puck by Murphy. Rangers fans want an interference call, but the ruling, I believe, is that the contact was started while Boudelier still had the puck, and so that's why no call. Coming down the ice the other way, there's a shot, it goes wide. McIsaac takes his man into the boards. Rangers fans upset about that one as well. 3 minutes left to go. Here's Hines with the puck. Boudelier gets it down the ice. Icing is waved off, so back to get it is Murphy. 2:50 left as the clock looms even larger here now. Suds plays it across. Pilling brings it across the blue line, but Ford was in a step early, and we'll get a stoppage. 2:41 separating the Rangers from a home game as the either number 1 or number 2 seed in the semifinals. 2:41 separating the Cougars from a possible end to their season. Puck comes out to center. Sent forward with a great effort by Dooley. And the Cougars back in their own zone. Isidore. Lead pass for Ford. Ford taking a look. Now he'll skate the puck ahead himself. In across the blue line. Ford dumps it down low. Goes after it himself. He'll get to it. Takes it around to the far side. Pokes it down into the corner. Coming out in front. There's a chance. And a save made by Nate Beaton. For Beaton, that is the 13th shot he has faced since coming in relief with about 5.5 minutes left to go in the first period after the injury to Nolan McLaughlin. The Cougars want to take their time out to try and set something up here with 2:09 left to go in the third. And we'll see if William Stonehouse, and it looks like Stonehouse is going into the bench now. So it will be 6-on-5 with the Cougars with the extra attacker trying to tie it up. They need to not only tie it up, but find a way to take a lead here in the last 129 seconds. For the Rangers, Marmalak, Foston, Wenzel, Clowater, and Lindsay. For the Cougars, Pilling, Ford, Malcolm McDonald, Suds, Alex McDonald, and Sinclair. Tie up off of the draw. Wenzel able to come out with it. Wenzel gets a step. Wenzel sends it towards the net. That'll go wide. Into the corner. That pass gets intercepted. Alex McDonald will find Pilling. Here comes Pilling. Pilling trying to cut around Foston. Stops. Can't get a pass through as Clowater got a skate on it. Now the puck comes up the board. Suds pinching in. Clowater gets knocked down by Suds, and the Cougars maintain possession. 1:35 left to go. McDonald with a shot. That gets deflected. Picked up by Ford. Ford tried to get it to Pilling. There's a shot, and that's steered away. Now Suds stepping in from the line. Bumps into Clowater. Clowater will get it down the ice, and the puck heading towards the net, and it will stop just before the crease. And is that the break that the Cougars need? Here comes Alex McDonald. McDonald in across the blue line. Nearly lost the puck, now does lose it. Clowater gets it back out to center. 64 seconds left to go. Backing up with it is Suds. He gets it ahead. Foston at his own blue line knocks it ahead. Now sent back the other way. Ford will chip it down deep into the zone. Back to get it is Ingram. He fires it around the boards. It'll get past Pilling and out to center. Back to get it is Suds. Suds turns, trying to get away from Dooley. Suds and Dooley battling in the Cougar zone. Dooley trying to tie up the puck. Both of them go down. Dooley goes down a second time. Now the Cougars get it out, but it put right onto the stick of Hollett. And what a save there as Hollett with the shot went to put it right into the net, but Alex McDonald with the deflection. The goal may not have counted anyway, as I think it was going to be an offside. I believe that's why we get the stoppage with 25 seconds left. And with the faceoff being just outside the Cougar line, William Stonehouse has to go back into the net here. And that might be enough. With 25 seconds is time to get down the ice and get a goal, as it's down into the Ranger end. Net empty again. Puck comes to Murphy. He gets the shot away, and the blocker save made by Beaton, and it deflects up over the glass and out of play. 11.3 seconds left to go here in the third period. Rangers that close to going to 3-1 and clinching at least a top 2 position. But still, they win the draw. Foston will take the puck into the corner, tie it up. It's worked free. Out in front, there's a shot. Save made. And covering up is Nate Beaton, and he'll hang on for another face-off with 3.2 left. We now know that the Cougars' season will come to an end, but we want to congratulate the John Old Jim Cougars for a fantastic year, making it to this tournament and having a valiant effort in every single game this weekend. They're going to fall short. The Rangers will be in the semifinals. The Rangers will be one of the top 2 seeds in the semifinals. Whether they are first or second will be determined by the outcome of the next game. Final shots on goal are 22 by the Rangers and 21 by the Cougars. Shots in that third period, 11 by the Cougars and 9 by the Rangers. And now it's time for the presentation of the Wilson's Heating Players of the Game.
Time now for the Wilson's Heating Players of the Game presentation. Your player of the game from the Rangers, number 35,
Nate Beaton, who came in relief and stopped 14 of 16 shots to earn the victory. Well deserved by him, as he wasn't expecting to play in this game.
Number 4, Cole Murphy.
And Cole Murphy, who did everything you could ask of him throughout this game, ends up getting player of the game for the Cougars. So that's going to do it for this one. The final score, once again, the Rangers clinch a top 2 seed with a 3-2 victory over the John Jim Cougars. The Cougars season comes to an end. This game comes to an end. We're going to take a quick break. We'll come back, get you ready for the start of the Wolverines and Bombers in just a few minutes. You are watching the 2022 Coltech Nova Scotia Under-15 Major Hockey League Provincial Championships here on Pictou Sports through AOTV. For those of you who are going to sign off for now, thanks so much for watching. May your skates always be sharp. May your shots always hit the top shelf. For those of you sticking around, please do. We got more great hockey coming up next.